This is Fitness Blender's comprehensive total body HIIT cardio and core workout. In this comprehensive workout, we're going to start out with a 4-minute warm-up, follow it up with a 22-minute HIIT routine Tabata style, and then a 5-minute core routine, and then finish it off with a 7-minute cool down. Now, all of these exercises throughout this routine are all body weight driven, so you're not going to need anything other than an optional exercise mat. So let's go ahead and get started with our warm-up. We're going to be doing 6 exercises. The first 5 will be for 30 seconds, and the last one will be 60 seconds. So let's go ahead and get started with our first warm-up exercise, the high knee march. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Because this is our warm-up, just start with a really nice small range of motion, slowly building up that range of motion as you go, trying to eventually get to the point where you're getting those knees as high as you possibly can. Now this isn't a quick motion, again this is just a warm-up, so move back and forth nice and slow under control. You don't need to really push yourself on this, we're just kind of slowly bringing that heart rate up, slowly bringing that core temperature up. Now also make sure you're keeping those lungs open, you're going to want to breathe normally here, don't hold your breath at any point. We've got our next exercise coming up, the standing crisscross. Get ready, and start up. So bring that left elbow down to that right knee, right elbow down to that left knee, just crossing back and forth, getting a little bit of a crunch every single time you bring that elbow down to that knee. That leg motion is going to be almost identical to that high knee march. The only difference is you're bringing that knee up across your body just a little bit more than with that high knee march. Now again, just make sure that you're keeping your lungs open, move nice and slow and deliberately, don't get yourself moving too quickly. You want to just slowly bring that heart rate up and that core temperature up. All right, our next exercise is going to be a torso circle. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start it up. Tip straight forward and then off to the left. Stretching that left oblique, then stretch back, stretching those abdominal muscles. Off to the right and then back down to the center. Pause at the center, then come back up across the opposite direction. Just a nice, slow, controlled motion. Really take your time, get a good stretch in every single angle as you go around. Making sure you're getting a good stretch to those hips as you stretch back and forward, as well as through that torso. Now we've got just a few seconds till our next exercise, the up and out hops. Go ahead and get ready. And start them up. Now there's a nice quick motion intended to bring that heart rate up even more, bring that core temperature up even more. Now that you have a few warm-up exercises done, you should be warm enough to the point where you can start moving a little bit faster and start using a little bit more range of motion, trying to challenge yourself just a little bit more to really try to get that heart rate up higher, try to get that core temperature up a little bit more to get ready for this HIIT routine coming up. Now just keep that motion going. We've just got a few seconds left till we switch exercises. Our next exercise coming up is a front jack. Go ahead and get ready. And switch it. Those hands coming straight in front of your chest and then stretch them back out behind you as far as is comfortable. Those hands are going to come together at the same time those feet come together. And as those legs come apart, those hands come apart. Just keep alternating back and forth. Nice quick motion. Barely let that foot touch the ground before you're moving back in the opposite direction. Now we just have one more warm-up exercise after this one's done. So make sure you're really pushing yourself on this one and the next to make sure you're getting that heart rate up really nice and high and that core temperature up really nice and high. Almost done. Our lateral jumps are coming up next. Get ready and switch it. Go ahead and start into that lateral jump motion, getting a nice wide jump, but don't worry about pushing it too hard. This is just a warm-up version, so don't worry about killing yourself. You just want to get that heart rate up and that core temperature up just a little bit more. Start breaking a sweat, starting to breathe a little bit harder. So just keep pushing yourself. We're going for a full minute on this one, so we've got a little bit longer on this one to give you the time to bring that heart rate up and bring that core temperature up if you haven't done already. Now because you're doing this at a slightly less intense rate, make sure you really focus on that form, so keep those hips nice and low, moving back and forth at a nice even pace, making sure that you're not wobbling back and forth. Really try to control that form so you're not losing your balance, and really focus on keeping those lungs open constantly. Nice deep breath in, nice long exhale every single time, never ever letting yourself hold your breath. Just 10 seconds left, keep it going. Make sure you're under control. Nice, smooth, even motion. Almost done. Just a few seconds left. And let it relax. All right, let's go ahead and get ready for our Tabata HIIT routine. We're going to be doing 10 exercises total, 5 groups of 2 exercises at a time. We're going to be doing an AA-BB pattern twice through per exercise. And then we're going to be doing a 20-second on, 10-second off Tabata style with a 40-second rest in between groups. Our first 2 exercises are going to be high knees and quick feet. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start them up. Drive those knees really nice and high. Barely let those feet touch the ground before you're pulling them right back off again. Remember, this is a Tabata HIIT style, so push yourself 100% the entire time. Really drive those knees. Try to get them up higher than I am the entire time. Try to move faster than I am the entire time. We're going to give you plenty of rest in between these, so make sure you're really pushing yourself. Go ahead and let it relax. You got 10-second rest here before we start another round of these high knees. Let's go ahead and get ready. And begin. Drive those knees, move those feet really nice and quick. Push it as hard as you possibly can. When we're done with this entire group, you get a nice long 40-second break, so don't hold anything back. You'll have plenty of time to rest up before we start into that next group. Just keep pushing yourself, keep driving those feet really nice and quick. We're almost done, just a few seconds left. And let it relax. All right, we're moving to a different exercise next. We're going to be doing quick feet. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start it up. Get down nice and low. Do that quick feet with those feet really nice and close together, and then pop those feet out really nice and wide. Doing that quick feet again, then bring them right back in. Make a really quick motion, just a few taps on the outside, then a few taps on the inside before moving back out again. The whole time trying to keep those hips nice and low. We're almost done, just a few seconds left, and let it relax. All right, we're going to do that one more time before we switch back to those high knees. Go ahead and get ready. And start it up. Get down nice and low. Move those feet as quick as you possibly can. You want to try to keep forcing yourself to stay down there as low as you can. As those legs start to burn out, you're going to want to start coming up higher and higher and higher. Try to force yourself to keep those hips down really nice and low. Moving those feet as quick as you can. Barely letting those feet tap before you move them right back the opposite direction. And let it relax. All right, we're halfway through this group. We've got another 2 sets of each one of these exercises. Starting back over with those high knees. Go ahead and get ready. And start it up. Drive those knees. Try to barely let that foot touch the ground before you're driving it back up. I know those legs probably feel like lead weights, but try to move them as quick as you possibly can. Keep those feet moving. Try to make sure you're driving those knees up at least to hip height, higher if you can. Making sure you're just barely letting that foot touch before you're pulling it right back up again. We're almost done. And let it relax. All right, got 10-second rest before we do that one more time. This is your last set of those high knees. Go ahead and get ready. And start them up. Drive those knees. Barely let that foot touch the ground before you're pulling it right back up. Just concentrate on pushing as hard as you possibly can this entire 20 seconds. We're a little over halfway. Just keep those knees moving. Keep driving it as hard as you possibly can. Now remember, you're going to get a nice long rest once we're done with this full group, so keep pushing it. And let it relax. We've got one more exercise to go. 2 rounds of this exercise, doing quick feet next. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. Get down nice and low. Quick feet with those feet together nice and close. Then quick feet with those feet really wide. Just keep alternating back and forth, making sure you're moving those feet as quickly as you possibly can, trying to stay up on the ball of that foot as much as possible, lifting those toes up off the ground the entire time, trying to keep those hips as low as you can. And let it relax. All right, good job. That is the first round done. We have one more round to go until we're done with this entire group and you get a nice long rest. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Get those feet moving really nice and quick. Nice and close together at the beginning, then really nice and wide, trying to keep those hips as low as you possibly can. Really push yourself. This is your last round until we get a really nice long break. So keep those hips low, keep those feet fast. We're almost done, just a few seconds left. Keep pushing through it. Just a little bit longer. And let it relax. All right, good job. You get a nice long active rest. So keep those feet moving around. If you want to go grab a drink of water real quick, that's perfectly fine. Just don't stop moving. Once you come back into place, just keep those feet moving back and forth, either walking in place, or if you want to make it a little bit harder, just a really nice light jog in place. All right, we've got just about 10 seconds left until our next group starts up, so let's go ahead and get ready. Our first exercise is going to be a traveling mountain climber, and then we're going to follow that up with a plyo push up. Remember, we're doing AABB, so it's 2 traveling mountain climbers, then 2 plyo push ups. Go ahead and get ready, and start them up. So traveling mountain climber, you're going to walk those feet underneath you like a regular mountain climber, and then off to the left, then back underneath, and then off to the right. Trying to turn those hips as much as you can, trying to keep those shoulders parallel to the ground. Just keep it going, driving those feet, trying to move as much as you possibly can, getting as much range of motion through those legs as possible, and let it relax. All right, that's the first one done. Try to breathe as deeply as you can, recover as much as you can on this short break. Go ahead and get ready for round number 2. And start up. Drive those knees, move those feet nice and quick. Off to the left, back to the center, then off to the right, back to the center. Just keep alternating back and forth, trying to get as much rotation through those hips as you can while still trying to keep those hips nice and low. Try not to let them kick up too high. You want to try to really force yourself to work those legs, abs, and shoulders. And let it relax. All right, we're going to be moving on to our next exercise, those Plyo Push Ups. So if you need to, do these off your knees, but if you can, do a full push-up and begin. Now this is going to be a traditional push-up on the way down, but on the way back up, you're going to push as hard as you possibly can, trying to build up enough momentum to actually get those hands all the way off the ground. Now, as you drop back down, try to recoil as slowly as you can, slowing yourself down towards the bottom of that push-up, and then explode again right back up. And let it relax. It's our first one down. We got one more round to go. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. Full push-up position if you can. Hop those hands off the ground as high as possible with 100% force every single time, trying to really tire out those chest muscles and those shoulder muscles. You should also feel this in your abdominal muscles and those hip flexors, trying to force yourself all the way back up. Just keep pushing through it as hard as you can. We're almost done. Just a few seconds left. And let it relax. All right, that's 2 rounds done of that one. It means we're moving back to that original exercise, the traveling mountain climber. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start up. Get those feet moving really nice and fast. Regular mountain climber, then off to the left, back to the center, and then off to the right. Just keep crossing back and forth. Nice quick motion, driving those knees up underneath your body as high as you possibly can, at the same time as keeping those hips as low as possible. Just a few seconds left. Keep it going. And let it relax. All right, good job. That was the end of the first round. We got one more round of that exercise for this group. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. Get those feet moving. Nice and straight underneath you, then off to the left, back underneath, then off to the right. Just keep alternating back and forth. Keep those hips nice and low. Push it 100%. We're almost done with this group. Just 5 seconds left. Keep it going. Drive those knees. Keep those feet moving. And let it relax. All right, good job. That was the end of that exercise. We have 2 more of the Plyo Push Ups. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start them up. Remember, pushing as hard as you possibly can. Try to do a full push-up if you can. If you can't, if those arms start getting too tired, you can always drop down onto those knees. Now remember, this isn't a complete traditional push-up. You don't need to keep those hips really nice and low. You actually want to kick those hips up back behind you to help build up that momentum. So try to get that motion as solid as you can. Really push it. Let it relax. We got one more round to go. Try to recover as best you can on this short break. Go ahead and get ready. And start them up again. Drop down as low as you can, and then push as hard as possible. Try to get those hands up off the ground. Slowly back down. Try to control it as much as you can, and then press it right back up. 100% effort the entire time. You get a nice long break after this, so make sure you're pushing it. Just a couple seconds left. And let it relax. All right, good job. You get a nice long break. Take a deep breath. Get up, start walking around. Remember, this is an active rest, so don't stop moving. Now, if you completely recover during this active rest and you still have a little bit of time left, you can always start throwing in a little bit of extra cardio on your own, do a few jumping jacks, a few high knees, just to get that heart rate back up, burn a few extra calories. But I'm sure you're going to want to actually use this entire time frame just to recover, getting ready for this next group. I've got just a few seconds left before you start into that next group. Our next 2 exercises are going to be a star jump and butt kickers. So let's go ahead and get ready for that next round. We're starting with those star jumps, so go ahead and get ready. And start them up. Nice and low, drop down between those feet with those hands. Squat down nice and low, then as hard as you possibly can, jump straight up, getting those hands and feet as far apart from each other as you possibly can, and getting as high off the ground as you possibly can. This is a 100% full body motion, trying to give as much effort as possible every single time. And go ahead and let it relax. You got one more round coming up. Take a nice deep breath, try to recover. Go ahead and get ready. And start them again. Nice low squat, hands down between those feet. Then jump up, spreading those arms and legs as wide as you possibly can in that star position. Then right back down as quick as you can. Make sure you're pushing 100%, trying to get a full motion on this, trying to get as high off the ground every time as you can. We're almost done, just a few seconds left. And let it relax. All right, good job. We're moving on to the next exercise, which is going to be our butt kickers. Give you a little bit of a rest on this one, even though those legs are still going to be tired. So go ahead and get ready. and start them up. Just get those feet moving. Bring that heel all the way up to that butt, moving those legs really nice and quick. Now, if you've got a lot of energy left over, you can always do double butt kickers where you bring both feet up at the same time and then right back down. Those are much, much more difficult. They'll burn a lot more calories, but if you can't quite control them, then just keep doing the same ones we're doing here. And let it relax. We got one more round of these, so rest up. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start those butt kickers again. Get that heel all the way up to that butt, moving those feet really nice and fast. The faster you go, the harder it's going to be. Again, if it's not quite hard enough for you, you can always do the double butt kickers to really kill yourself. Just remember, we still have 2 rounds of those star jumps coming up next, so don't push yourself too hard. You want to make sure you have a little bit of energy left for those. And go ahead and let it relax. That is halfway right there for this group. We're going to be starting back over with those star jumps, so let's go ahead and get ready. And start them up. Drop down really nice and low in that squat, hands down between those legs. Jump straight up as hard as you possibly can, getting those arms and legs nice and wide. Then drop it right back down into that squat again before jumping right back up. Make sure you're pushing 100%. Really, really push those arms and legs out. Really, really jump nice and hard. We're almost done. And let it relax. All right, you got one more round of those. Go ahead and get ready. And start again. This is your last round of these star jumps for this group, so really, really push it. You can see I'm starting to get tired here. I'm starting to take a little bit longer in between jumps. Try to beat me. Try to move faster than I am. Getting a really nice deep squat every single time. As soon as you land from that star jump, go right back into that squat again to make it as hard as possible. Just keep moving. We're almost done. And let it relax. All right, good job. Let's go ahead and move back to those butt kickers. We've got 2 rounds of these before this group is done. Let's get ready. And start them up. Bring those heels all the way up to that butt. Nice quick motion. I know those legs are tired, but try to get that heel up as high as you can every single time. Try to literally kick yourself in the butt with that heel. Really, really squeezing that leg back up behind you, making sure those feet are moving really, really quickly. We're almost done. Just a few seconds left. And let it relax. It's our first round done. We just have 1 left before you get a really nice long rest. Go ahead and get ready. And start that last round. Get those feet going. Drive that heel up towards that butt. Get a really, really nice tight squeeze at the very top of that range of motion. Moving those legs as quickly as you can. Really, really push yourself. Again, this is your last round before you get a really nice long break. So really push it. Just 5 seconds left. Keep pushing it as hard as you possibly can. We are almost done. And let it relax. All right, good job. You get a really nice long active rest. Remember, grab a drink of water if you need one, but try to keep yourself moving, at least a walking in place, jogging in place if you can, or if you want to make it a little bit harder, jumping jacks or high knees to really kill yourself. All right, we've got just about 10 seconds left before we start into that next group. Our next 2 exercises are going to be a static runners. That's going to be our first one, and then hillbilly squats is going to be our second one. Let's go ahead and get ready. Starting off with that static runner, and start it up. Standing on that left leg first, you're going to drive that right knee, stick it back behind you, and then pull it up really nice and high. Move those arms like you're doing a running motion. Try to move as quickly as you possibly can, really driving that knee, extending it back out behind you, getting a full extension on that leg every single time, staying in a quarter to a half squat on that left leg. And let it relax. We're going to switch sides here. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start again, standing on that right leg, moving that left leg this time. Again, try to get that running motion going every single time that left knee drives up, that left arm drives back. Trying to stay in that quarter or half squat on that right leg this time. Really, really move it quickly. Try to get that leg moving as fast as you can, still trying to get a full range of motion on that leg. And let it relax. All right, we're going to be moving to those hillbilly squats next. It's a little bit of a different exercise. Really works those legs. Let's get ready. And start up. So from a standing position, you're just going to bring your left leg up, tap it with your right hand and your left hand, then bring your right leg up, tap it with your left hand and your right hand, squat down a little bit, and then repeat the motion. Do that same thing on both sides, and squat down again until you get to the very, very bottom, as low as you can possibly go, then jump back up and start on your way back down, and let it relax. So you get a good idea of how that works. We're going to do the same thing again one more time. Let's go ahead and get ready and start it up. The key is to move as quickly as you possibly can, bringing that heel up to your hands rather than reaching down towards your foot. Really moving that leg as quick as you can and trying to hold that static squat position as best you can. Remember, every single time you do a cycle, you want to drop just a little bit lower until you get down to the very bottom of that range of motion. Then you can start again. And let it relax. All right, we're going to be moving back to that static runner, starting back over with that left leg first. Let's go ahead and get ready. And begin. Standing on that left leg, extending that right leg back behind you. And remember, you're trying to do that running motion, so drive that knee back and forth as quickly as you can, at the same time as driving those arms. So as that right knee comes up, that right arm goes back. And as that right leg goes back, that right arm goes forward. Just keep that motion going. We're almost done. And let it relax. All right, we're going to switch sides, do the same thing on that opposite side. So standing on that right leg next. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start it up. Driving that left leg as quick as you can. Really pushing yourself as hard as possible. Running those arms back and forth. Moving those arms as quickly as you can. Make sure everything's nice and tense. That core, through those chest muscles, that back, those arms, those legs. Everything's nice and solid. Burning as many calories as you can. And let it relax. All right, good job. We are moving back to those hillbilly squats next. We got 2 rounds of these and then we're done with this group. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start them up. Tapping those feet, dropping down a couple of inches, tap those feet again, then drop down again. Remember, trying to get down just a little bit lower every single time you do that squat. Trying to get all the way down to that bottom, then pop back up to the top and start again before your time runs out. Now we have just a few seconds left, so keep that motion going really nice and solid. We're almost there. And let it relax. All right, good job. We have 1 more round of these before this group is done. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. Get those feet moving really nice and quick. Tap those heels. Tap that foot. Then drop it down a couple of inches. Then start it again. Drop it down again. Keep moving as quickly as you possibly can. Try to hold that squat as solid as you can every single time. Really pushing yourself. Trying to burn as many calories as you can. Make sure you're keeping all those muscles nice and solid. And let it relax. Good job. You got a nice long active rest. Take a nice deep breath in. Grab a drink of water if you need one. But whatever you do, don't stop moving. Keep those feet moving, at least to walking in place. All right, this is our last group before this portion of the routine is done. We got about 10 seconds before we start up. Our exercises for this group are going to be a jumping lunge and a plank walk. Let's go ahead and get ready. Starting off with that jumping lunge. And start up. Just alternating back and forth. Nice quick hopping motion. Try to get a nice deep lunge every single time. Jumping up as hard as you can every single time. Try to keep those feet moving in a nice, smooth, even pattern. If you can, really push yourself on trying to get as high as you can every single time. 100% effort. And let it relax. All right, we got 1 more round of those. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start up again. Nice even pace. Really trying to get those feet swapping back and forth as quickly as you can. If those legs completely give out on you, if you don't have anything left, then just go into a regular alternating lunge. So down with that left leg, back up, then down with that right leg, back up. If you can, just keep pushing through just like this with those jumping lunges. Just a few seconds left. And let it relax. All right, good job. We're going to be moving on to that next exercise, the plank walks. Go ahead and get ready. And start them up. Coming to that push-up position. Walking up across the right side, back out to the center, then up across the left, and back again. Just keep going back and forth, trying to keep those shoulders facing straight down towards the ground. Rotating those hips back and forth as much as you can. Getting a really good rotation on those hips. Trying to stretch those legs up as much as you can. And let it relax. All right, good job. That one is done. We got 1 more round of these before we switch back to those jumping lunges. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. Go ahead and walk those feet back and forth on each side. Remember, you're trying to get those feet as far up on your side as you possibly can, almost to the point where you're doing a side plank with your hands in line with those legs. Just keep moving back and forth. Nice fluid motion. Keep those hips as low as you can the entire time. Almost done. And let it relax. All right, we're going to switch back to those jumping lunges. We're halfway through with this group. Go ahead and get ready. And start them up. First round of those jumping lunges. Make sure you're moving as quick as you can. Nice even motion. Get nice and low on that lunge every single time. Trying to drop that rear knee down to almost touching the ground. Then pop right back up again as hard as you possibly can. Just keep this motion nice and smooth and under control. We're almost done. Just a few more seconds. And let it relax. All right, you got one more round of these. Go ahead and get ready. And start them up. This is the second and last round of this exercise. And this is actually the last group of the HIIT portion of this routine. So push yourself as hard as you possibly can, because as soon as we're done with this group, we're going to move on to some easier exercises. So make sure you're pushing yourself 100% the entire time to burn as many calories as you can. We're almost done. And let it relax. All right, we have just 2 rounds of one more exercise left, the plank walks. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start them up, coming up to that push-up position. Walking back and forth with those feet, trying to get those feet all the way up next to those hands as close as you can. And then walk them back out straight, back up over to the other side. Just keep alternating back and forth. Try to keep those shoulders facing down towards the ground, rotating those hips only. Keep pushing yourself as hard as you can. We only have a few seconds left. And let it relax. All right, good job. That was the end of that first round. We got one more round of this exercise. So go ahead and get ready. And start up out in that full push-up position, walking those feet back and forth. Really push yourself. Make sure all those muscles are nice and contracted through those arms, that chest, that back, those core muscles, those legs, everything nice and solid to burn as many calories as you possibly can. We are almost done. Just a few seconds left. Keep it going. And let it relax. All right, go ahead and stand back up for that active rest. That was actually the end of your HIIT portion of this routine. So now we're going to start moving into that core work. We have 4 different exercises we're going through, and we're going to go 20 repetitions through each exercise to really burn those muscles out. Now again, these are all body weight driven exercises, so you're not going to need any equipment except for an optional exercise mat. All right, let's go and get ready for our first exercise, the jackknife crunch. We're doing 20 repetitions of this. Go ahead and get ready. And start it up. Go ahead and lay flat on your back, extending those arms and legs in opposite directions. Contract those abs, press that lower back to the ground. Lift those arms and legs up. Crunch those hands up towards those feet. Then slow let those shoulder blades drop back down, and then drop those arms and legs back down before you start that motion over. Just keep it going nice and slow under control. This isn't a quick motion. This is a slow control contraction. So make sure you go up slowly and you drop everything back down slowly. Don't let those arms or those feet touch the ground if you can avoid it. Keep them hovering at the bottom, always keeping those core muscles nice and solid. Keep that motion going over and over again. Remember, we've got a full 20 repetitions to do here. Try to do them all without pausing, without taking a break. Just keep it going. We're almost done. Just a few more repetitions to go. Just 5 repetitions left. 4 more. Keep that motion going. 3 left. 2 more. 1 left. Almost done. And let it relax. All right, rest for just a second. Go and flip over onto your stomach for our next exercise, the back bows. Again, another 20 repetitions. Go ahead and get ready. And start them up. Nice full extension, arms and legs pointing out as solid as you can. Nice straight arms, nice straight legs. Squeeze them up off the ground as high as you can. Again, another nice slow contraction. Squeeze them up nice and slow, then drop them down nice and slow. Full 20 repetitions. Focusing on getting a nice tight squeeze at the top of that range of motion every single time while keeping those arms and legs nice and straight. Just 4 more. 3, 2, 1. And there's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. You're going to roll over onto your left side next. That left elbow directly underneath that shoulder when you're doing that side hip raise. And start it up. Bring that hip up there really nice and high. Squeeze it up. Try to pull that left shoulder down towards that hip on that left side. Get a really, really tight squeeze on that oblique every single time. You should be feeling it in that left oblique, that bottom side. Really, really squeezing that hip up. Slowly let it drop down. Don't let it completely touch. Keep a little bit of a hover before you drive that hip right back up. Just keep it going nice and slow under control, just like all the rest. No quick motions. And we're almost done. Just 4 left. 3 left. 2. 1 more. and let it relax. All right, good job. Go ahead and flip it over to the other side. Same exact exercise, just on that right side this time. So right elbow underneath that shoulder. Tuck those knees back behind you. Tuck those feet back behind you. Knees bend at a 90-degree angle. Lift that hip up really nice and high. Squeeze the top. Remember, trying to pull that right shoulder down towards that hip. Should be feeling it in that right oblique, that bottom side. Get a nice tight squeeze every single time. Just 4 more, 3 left, 2 more, 1 left, and let it relax. All right, good job. We're moving on to our last core exercise, the Russian twist. Nice flat back. Lean back to a 45, hands straight up in front of that chest, rotate left to right. This is going to focus on that lower back, those obliques, and those abdominal muscles all at the same time. You're also going to feel it in those hip flexors and those quadriceps, the front of that thigh. Just keep rotating back and forth. Get as much rotation on those shoulders as you can, freezing those hands directly in front of that chest. So you don't want to swing those arms back and forth. Those arms are locked in line with those shoulders, so it's just a rotation through those shoulders. Just keep it going, a nice full range of motion. We're counting only on one side, so it's going to be 1, back, 2, and back. So keep that motion going nice and solid. Keep that back nice and flat. Don't let that lower back round. Don't let those shoulders round. We're almost done. 1 more, and let it relax. All right, good job. That is it. All of the hard stuff is done. All we have left is our cool down. We're doing 7 exercises, 30 seconds per position. Let's go ahead and get ready. Our first exercise is going to be a straight leg hang, a crossover version. So we're focusing on just that left leg first. So that right leg is going to cross over top of that left. Go ahead and get ready. And start up. Go ahead and cross that right leg over top. Stretch down, focusing on just that left leg. That right knee can bend a little bit if you need to. Stretch down as far as it's comfortable towards the ground. Just let those legs stretch. You're going to be feeling this through your hamstring on that left leg, maybe a little tiny bit into that right leg, but mainly on that left. You also might be feeling this through that lower back as well. Just keep going as far as comfortable. No bouncing, just a nice, slow, static hold. We're almost done. And let's go ahead and switch sides. Go ahead and switch that right leg. So that left leg is going to come over top of that right. Straighten that right leg out. That left knee can bend slightly, but mainly focusing on that right leg this time. You want to feel it through that hamstring of that right leg. Maybe a little bit into that calf. Maybe a little bit into that lower back. And just about 5 seconds left. Keep holding it. And we're going to switch that quad stretch next. Go ahead and stand up. Bring that left leg up. Grab that left foot with that left hand. Squeeze that heel to your butt as close as is comfortable. And then stretch that knee back behind you as far as is comfortable. You want to feel this primarily through the front of that thigh, through the front of that quadricep, into the front of that hip flexor, as well as possibly even into the lower abdominal muscles. So just keep that stretch nice and tight. Don't let it relax. If anything, start pulling it just a little bit tighter as you go. We're almost done. Just a few seconds left. Then we're going to switch sides. And go ahead and switch it. Bring it over to that right side. So bring that right foot up into that right hand. Squeeze that heel to your butt. Press that knee back behind you as far as is comfortable. Get that stretch to the front of that thigh, the front of that hip, and possibly into those lower abdominal muscles. Just hold it there. Nice static stretch. And we got just about 5 seconds left till the stretch is done. So really pull it back there. Get a good stretch. And let it relax. We're moving to the center hamstring stretch next. So spread those legs about twice shoulder width apart. Then go right down to the center of those legs, dropping those hands down towards the ground. Press those elbows down towards the ground as far as you can. You're not going to get those elbows to the ground, but that's the goal. You're trying to get down as low as possible. So lean over forward, really round that back, get a good stretch to that lower back, as well as a little bit different part of that hamstring than you would with a regular straight leg hang. Now we're almost done, just a few seconds left. And let it relax. Go ahead and stand back up. Nice straight up and tall with that chest, but those legs still out nice and wide. Leave one leg completely straight, bend that opposite knee, then lean back towards that straight leg, getting a good stretch on the inside of that thigh on that straight leg. Lean that torso back towards that leg, drop that hip on that side with that straight leg, trying to get a really, really good stretch on the inside of that thigh. We're almost done, just a few more seconds, and we're going to switch sides. And go ahead and switch it. So switch those knees. You're going to bend that opposite knee now. Again, leaning back towards that straight leg. Drop that hip down on that side. Lean that direction as much as you can. Keep that leg perfectly straight. Get a good stretch to the inside of that thigh. Just 5 seconds left. Hold it for just a little bit longer. Really push that stretch. And let it relax. Go ahead and sit down on the ground for our next one, the hamstring and torso stretch. We're using that right leg first. Extend it out straight. Your left leg's going to be tucked in as close as is comfortable. Stretch that torso over to the right as far as you can with that left arm up over your head. Get a good stretch on that torso on that left side, as well as a good stretch on that hamstring on that right side. Just hold it there. Nice deep breath in. Try to breathe normally as best you can. Trying to keep that leg nice and straight. Trying to get a little bit further every second. And go ahead and let that one relax. Switch sides. That left leg's going to come out straight. That right leg's going to tuck in. Lean over to that left leg. Get that right arm up over top of your head. Good stretch on that right torso. And a good stretch on that left hamstring. Just hold it there. Again, nice deep breath in. Try to keep those lungs open. Just holding it as steady as you can. Slowly pressing down further every single second to try to get just a little bit more of a stretch. And we're almost done. Just a few more seconds. And let it relax. All right, we've got a butterfly stretch next. Bring the soles of your feet together. Squeeze them in as close to you as you possibly can, as close as is comfortable. Grab those feet if you need to, and you're going to use the muscles to the outside of your thighs to press those thighs down to the ground as tight as you possibly can. You should feel this to the inside of that thigh, that groin area. A good stretch to the inside of that thigh to give a little bit more range of motion through those hips. Just hold it there for a little bit longer. We're almost done. And go ahead and let it relax. We're going to move to the next stretch. Was going to be a deep glute stretch on the right side first. So laying flat on your back. We're going to be focusing on that right leg. So that right leg is actually going to come up over top of that left, grabbing onto that left leg. Pull that left leg in nice and tight, then start your counting. You want to get a really, really good stretch on that right glute. So you can feel it on that right leg rather than the one you're holding on to. And I've got just about 5 seconds left. Keep holding on to that leg, squeezing it as close as is comfortable to get that good stretch on that right side, and let it relax. All right, we're going to switch over to that left leg. So bring that left leg over top of your right, grab behind that right leg, squeeze that right leg in. Should get a really, really good stretch on that glute muscle on that left side. Just keep holding it. Nice deep breath in. Try to keep those lungs open. Try to let everything else relax. Just slowly squeezing that leg in, using those arms. Just trying to breathe normally. Letting everything completely relax, trying to get a little bit more range of motion out of that glute. We're almost done, just about 5 seconds left. And go ahead and let it relax. We're going to move on to the last stretch for this workout routine, the torso rotation stretch. Focusing on the right side first, so lay those legs off to the right side, looking back towards the left arm. So you're going to feel this through that torso. So you want to really focus on trying to get those hips to rotate as much as you can. Don't let those knees just slide back and forth on each other. You want to try to really, really press that left hip over top of that right side. So you get a really, really good rotation through that torso to get a really good stretch to that torso and that lower back. Go ahead and let it relax. We're going to switch over to the left side. So drop those knees off to the left side, rotate those hips that direction, and look back towards your right arm this time. So get a really good rotation on those hips, but keeping those shoulders flat against the ground, trying to let those shoulders roll up. You want to keep those shoulders flat, but still rotating those hips as much as possible. Just nice deep breath in, slowly exhale, keep those lungs open, don't ever hold your breath. Just trying to get as much of a stretch as you can, trying to slowly let it release as you hold. Almost done. And let it relax. All right, good job. This workout is complete. You just finished Fitness Blender's comprehensive total body HIIT cardio and core workout.